welcome to Hedgehog Hollow's video today. Today I'm going to be actually making the Happy Day card kit, which we unboxed a few days ago from the new upcoming catalogue that comes out June 1st. I'm going to take you through exactly the instructions that you get with the kit, and you'll find that in a few weeks a new video will come out where I'm doing some alternative ideas for you as well. So there's lots of different ways you can use the kit, and I'll share with you in this video some of my tips and techniques for using the kits and how I store my bits, leftovers, etc, etc. So let's get going. So this is the instructions you get with the card kit. All I've done is empty my box and lay it out all over my table so I can grab things nice and easily to show you. So it does show you along the bottom everything that you get in the card kit, and here are the instructions. So we'll work our way through each of the cards, so it might be a bit of a long video, but we'll get there in the end. First thing I want to share with you is I have some of the spare DVD cases, and you get with this some photopolymers, 13 photopolymer stamps, which is great value in the kit. So peel off the piece of acetate. I do keep those for window cards and things like that, so I always keep those to the side. And then you can get a print off on Stampin Up's website. If you can't find it, I can send you the link. To be able to get the same containers, I grab one of their other stamp sets, you see, so that they look like the same stamp sets. And what I'm going to do is grab, what should we have? We'll use our black, so they all match. On our thin end, so this is called, see, I've been overusing. Grab a fresh one. Better. So we've got Oh Happy Day kit. And then what I will do later is I will stamp out each of my images onto there, and then put that inside. Just slip that back in again. There we go. And then once all the images are stamped on the front, I'll keep my photopolymers in there so I can use them again, and they'll store nicely in the bookcase with the rest of my stamps. Anyway, card number 1. So this is the card we're going to make. So we need to grab this card base. The spotty pieces. There's some chipboard elements. There's dimensionals. We'll pop out a star. That. Cover everything. Just checking I've got all my elements. I think so. There we go, 2 hearts. So, let's get assembling. So we just need to stamp a hello onto, just realised I haven't got my washi. Okay. Might be able to hear my girls in the background who are playing away. So you get a stamping spot in with the kit. We'll open that one up. It's not going to go to plan because we're recording a video, of course. Okay. And you also get a block in with the kit. So you really don't need anything extra with the kit. I'm just going to check what number 31 is of those hearts. So hello is there. Now again, this is photopolymer and they're brand new, so I'm going to grab my stamping scrub and I'm just going to give it a quick scrub just to take off those sticky chemicals. Keep that to the side because I'm sure we'll need it again. Ink out your stamp. Love these stamping spots, they're coming back in the new catalogue. Yep, hello. And if you do it once and you don't like it, remember you can always turn your star around and do it again on the other side if you need to. I'm just going to pop my stamping spot to the side for a moment. So let's assemble our card. So we'll grab our, this is how I keep all my adhesives on my desk. So I'm going to grab my adhesives. I'm going to grab our snail. We'll stick that on there. Stick that on. And I'm going to use some glue dots just because this one's quite tiny, or you could use a glue stick. And we need some, oh no, we got dimensionals in with the kit, didn't we? Where did we pop those? Now we're going to stick on our hello. We've got our chipboard heart. Which I'm assuming have sticky on the back. I think they do. Maybe not. Let me use a bit of my fine glue. Okay. We'll stick that one on, and they've tucked that slightly in. Pop that one back to the side, and then they've used some of the decorative hearts. So what they've done is taken this nice spotty one, and they've used a number 10 for this bottom heart stamp. So this is great, so you can go over to here, we want a number 10, which is on a sheet with lots of hearts. Gold foil. It actually says gold foil on there. There we go. And for these two hearts, they have stamped them with this little one. So we will go and we'll swap out our hello. Just scrub it off. And we will stamp on our spots. Another great thing to use with the grid paper. There we go. And we will need to stick each of these on. Let's go back to our picture. And I've stuck them on flat. I'm actually just going to use a dab of glue on each one. And our gold one. And we'll stick that one on there. So that's card number 1 finished. Okay, pop that to the side. Let's see how quickly we can get through these. It shouldn't take too long. So we need our black spotty. Piece of yellow. The spotty background. That piece, and I think that looks gold. Let's just check number 11 is gold. Our star, our circle, no, speech bubble, and our glittery stars, a pink one, a blue one. Oh, I see, there's numbers, so you can see there's number 2, number 2. Oh, we've missed number 1 off our number 1 card. Let's grab that. Here we are, stampers. And you'll notice I've left the cord off. I'm going to go back and do all of those at the end. I'm not really a fan of it usually, but we'll see which ones need it once we're done. So we're going to take our spotty embossed piece. Stick that on. Our yellow piece. And we'll stick that on. Then we're going to dimensionalise. Maybe we'll make up a word of our own. And maybe your workspace is also a bit more organised than mine. We're going to stick on our star. I'm not very good at following instruction stampers, so as much as I'm trying to stick to the picture, you might find I deviate slightly. I'm trying my best to stay close. And we've got our speech bubble, and we need our why thank you. And there's no reason, of course, that you couldn't switch it out and use a different sentiment, or you could use a stamp set you've got if you've got a new favourite stamp set. See, that's what happens. So you just turn it over, stamp it out again. Much better the second time. Although I think we could probably cover that up. Let's have a go. I'm sure I'm not the only one who stamps it out wrong. There we go. So why thank you. I think we're going to just do that plain. So you can always have 2 goes at things like this. Here we go. Excuse me. And now we're going to stick on our stars. I'm sure that these must have a sticky backing. Let's have a look at the instructions. I literally, Stampers, did not do anything at all. I didn't do anything before I did this for you, because I know what it's like when you get something new and you just want to go. So you are experiencing the pain with me. No, it doesn't say anything about sticky. Well, if you find out it does have sticky on Stampers, let me know. Maybe it's just me. I'm just going to stick mine on. They do look like they should have a sticky backing. What I'll do is I'll email Stampin' Up and ask, as I can't get them to work. And I will post an update on the blog post that you've got the link to. So that you can find out whether they are supposed to be sticky or not. I'm trying each one, hoping one of them will give way at some point, but they're not. I'm just ripping the paper off the back. There we go. And you can see on here that they've put the twine round, but it's not a look that I would ever use, so I'm going to keep the twine for something else in future, which I'm sure I will use. So next we've got one of these beautiful heart ones. That's the one. So what they do is they fold up and over like that. I need another speech bubble. There we go. We've got a speech bubble, and we've got, it looks a bit like a washi tape. Something I've only just realised. So I'm on card number 6, and each piece here has got a number next to it. So we're looking for a piece that says number 6. That's number 4, 8, 11, 15, 2, 3, 4, 1, 13. Okay, so we already used the piece for number 6, so we will take the piece that was meant for number 1, and we'll just switch it out. So there we are, there's something for you when you're doing yours. Let's nail that up. We need to stamp on a high there. Just as high. And get that positioned on there. So we want a high and a there. And just bear with me, Stampers, we've got some mummy duties to attend to, and I'll be right back to finish off our cards. Welcome back, sorry about the break. Anyway, where were we? We were going to stamp out our high there. Just going to do that slightly closer together. And what you can do with the photopolymer is you can always just check it, because they're see-through, which is great. And I have just cleaned this one with my stamping scrub so that it takes the ink nicely. There we go. And we'll dimensionalise this one. I think that's a term that we'll have here at the Hollow. Now, I don't know if you've noticed that I've actually uploaded a welcome video to the Hedgehog Hollow channel overnight. And we now have a hashtag, so you can hashtag all of your creations so that we can see what you've made. So number 6. So if you do hashtag, the hashtag is Hedgehog Hollow. No underspace or anything, just do it as one word. And they will then all link back to us. There we go, and that's a really cute little card there. Folds over, and they come to all with matching envelopes as well, so you don't need to buy anything at all apart from some adhesive. As I say, I'll check back in on with Stampin' Up on whether they're supposed to be sticky or not. And the only ones I can find. Aha. There we go, some triangles. Now, let's see if we can get this right. So I'm looking for number 11. And there we are, it's yellow. Number 11. And a spray of flowers, which again has got the number 11 on. Okay, this is really simple when you get going and you've worked out what you're doing. It's your day. It's your day. And it should have a 3 and number 11. There we are, Hollowers. We're now on a roll. I'm just going to grab my acrylic block. Stick these back on here for now. I always clean my stamps after the video, so it's a good job to get the children to do. Let's go and grab it. Mine's actually fallen out my stamping scrub because I've had it so long. So I just grabbed that to have next to me. Let's ink that up. I didn't think I'd like the photopolymers when Stampin' Up first used them. I had some bad experience with other brands, but I have to say, give them a go. And they're very forgiving. If, like me, you tend to stamp things a bit wonky. It really does help because you can see through them. So we'll take that up, tape up our piece of yellow. We're going to stick that one on there. I think I've just seen it. Okay, nothing's going to plan today. This was not a good day to be doing a video. But we've started, so we'll finish. If you're in the UK, you'll recognise that from a TV show. One of my favourite quizzes. Called Mastermind, and if you're not in England, you can check it out on YouTube. Always target myself to at least know one answer during each show of Mastermind. That tells you how tricky it is. Yep, so that's another card finished. Pop these behind. It's got a nice little pile coming up behind us ready to photograph. Now we did number 2, so now we're on number 7. So we want a yellow heart. Right, let's find all our elements. So we are on number 7. And we should have a nice spray of flowers, which we do, number 7. And we have that's number 7. And we need one of our doilies, mint macaron doily. And that should be number 7. And we should also have a white piece to stamp on, I reckon, which is that one. We've got to fit party time on it. Where's the stamp? We can just line it up. Perfect. So let's get assembling. We want to poke all the pieces out of our doily. So there's definitely some prep if you're at home and you want to do it quickly. If we're doing it in a class, we tend to go through and prep everything first. And I also include, if you come and do this kit with me as a class at Hedgehog Hollow, or if you buy it as a class to go, then I will also include the empty stamp case for you to put your stamps in, and a printout of the label so that you can pop that in with all your stamps as well. Here we go. So you'll find that this blog post will be quite a picture intense one, but what you will be able to see is every step of the way, and all my finished cards, which will be slightly different to Stampin' Up ones because nothing ever turns out exactly the same. And I've left, as I said to you, the baker's twine off of mine. I think it's something I'm slowly falling in love with, but I'm not quite there yet. go. Party time. So we need our banner, we need our stamp, we need our block. So ink it up. So I'm really excited that the stamping spots are coming back. They're actually going to be plain and you can add your own ink. So if you come to classes with me and you require ink pads, you'll find I'll give you a stamping spot included with the class in the appropriate colour. And then we're supposed to stick that onto there. So that's something that will be coming back this year. So that's our party time. We'll fold it up at the bottom. We've got another lovely yellow one. Then we're going to do number 13. So let's grab our card base. There we go. That's a nice piece of gold underneath, I think. And we're on card 13, so let's find our elements. That's for our hello. Really loving these kits. I think they've really refined them nicely. So we'll definitely be able to do this kit in a 2-hour class. You'll see how long the video takes. In card 13, much the heart. There's a white doily, and there should be a piece of 15, 9, 13. Perfect. And then if you just see if I'm just curving the edge very slightly, not enough to fold it, but it's helping me just pull those little pieces out the doily. What I will do, Hollow, is once I finish this card, I'm just going to cut the video, and what I'll do is I'll prep all of my bits and pieces now that you've seen me do it, just so that you don't have to sit and watch me pick all the pieces out of each doily and line everything up. So I'll skip ahead just a couple of steps, just get everything prepped for you, and then the video won't be quite as long as it's going to be otherwise. Let's just get this card finished for you first. There we go. So layer up the gold and the black. Then we stick that on. Stick our doily over the top. Then we're going to stick on our heart. And then finally we're going to do our hello again. Take off party time. And we're going to dimensionalise our hello. So I'm just going to cut the video here, Stampers, and I'll be right back once I've prepped everything, and then we can finish up the rest of our cards. So we've done the first 6, got another 14 to go, and I'll just get everything ready so that I can show you nice and quickly, and you can follow along. See you soon. Okay, so welcome back. What I've done is I've prepped each of the cards and I popped inside each one the bits and pieces that we needed. So hopefully we can get through these ones a bit quicker. Just one thing, once I've assembled this card, is I did find a few little hints and tips along the way that will help you out. So this is card number 3. So we're going to stamp out our love you There we are. Need to ink it up. So I did just scrub it on my Stampin' Scrub before I restarted the video so that you get a nice image. Loving these stamps. I think we'll have a few cards coming out soon using the stamp sets. Love You, which needs to be on some dimensionals. 2, 3. Ooh. So that's those 4. Ooh. Upside down as well, having a good day. And then we need to stick on our flowers. Like so. Just remember to only snail up one side or dimensional one side, whichever you prefer, because if you snail it up, it's just going to be flat there, or if you put dimensionals on this side, it'll be too high. So just remember to do that on one side. And this is the perfect place for some of these little candy dots. And these candy dots that I'm using are also going to be available in the new catalogue to buy separately, as are the doilies that I was using earlier. So you'll be able to order those to go on all of your cards. That's another one done. Just before we move on to the next one, so I'm just going to show you with the doilies, what I found is if I use my Sizzix die brush that came out before, and then you can just brush your hand underneath and they're gone. So it's a lot quicker than what I was doing when you saw me earlier in the video. So the next one I'm going to do is number 8. We have all our bits and pieces here, and then they're flying out at me. So I'm going to stamp it up first, and we need I Just. And just because I've got another block here, I'm going to pop that on. I Just, and then We're Gonna Love You. And you could switch up your sentiments. As I said, you could use something, one of your favourite ones. But I think it's great that you get 13 stamps in with the kit. It will end up being great value. So that's that one. Just need to snail up our piece. Snail that one up, and then we want some dimensionals to go on our flower. Normally when you've done the kit you have quite a lot of stuff left over, and assuming I've counted everything out right, today's no exception. So I'll also show you at the end of the video what you've got left over that you can use on other cards as well. So this one, what I'm going to do first of all is just slide those gently over. Is I'm going to put my dimensionals onto my yellow star piece, like so. And this is the great thing with photopolymers that you can't do with any of the other stamps. We're going to stick that on, ready to go on our card. And we want our yay, which is here. We'll grab some more. This is a block from another kit we had out the last catalogue, so you can build up your block collection nicely with these kits as well. And then we can just position it right through so that you get the perfect line up that way. So that's our yay. And then we want to stick it onto our spots like so. Little bits of the floral collection. The papers I notice in this floral collection actually coordinate with some of the new stamp sets that are coming out, so when we get those I'll be able to show you ways to mix up this kit and some of the papers in it to make different things as well. And then we want to stick on our chipboard stars. Now I did have a go when I wasn't filming at trying to get the backing off of these as we did earlier, but definitely couldn't get any backing off. And I'm hoping they're going to make these available separately as well, because I think there's some really fun ideas with these. And you can just stick them all over. I told you I wasn't very good at sticking to the instructions. So mine are in completely different places. I'm just going to lay that one very carefully to the side to dry. And as I say, the blog post, which is the link underneath the video, have pictures of each of the cards on as well. So we've got this party time, so this is number 15. Increase that one up, it keeps opening up. So that is flat. And this is flat just down the edge. And we're going to layer up our heart to get our snail the right way round. And this needs to be on dimensionals, the heart. Like that. And again, we need our party time. Just lost our white piece, I'll grab another one from the side. There are some spares I've noticed since I've now laid everything out for each card. This. Put that in our blocks. And you'll find these stamping spots will last you quite a long time as well, and you can re-ink them just with the same as the normal stamp pads as well. We'll stick that across our heart. And there we are, another one done. So we're on a roll now. So this is this friend, number 9. This is actually one that we made on stage a couple of weeks ago when we got the sneak peek of the new catalogue if you're a demonstrator. Actually on this banner I'm only going to put a tiny bit of glue because if you have a look, we've actually offset it like that. The heart over the end. And we want our friend stamp. We'll take that one back off. We'll grab our friend. We'll just give that one a scrub off as we haven't used it yet. Ink that back up. And you could use your bigger stamping spots. If you want to use your normal stamp pads, so you've got more colours, you could do that as well. And we want some dimensionals on it. And we'll stick that one across, like so. There's another one done. Which one have we got up next? Next is the orange spots. That's number 4. In your kit if you're crafting along with us. Make sure you put our adhesive on the right side. Oh, that one's too big, so we'll just trim that down slightly. I did actually notice on one of the black and white cards you need to trim down your embossed piece slightly as well, which is on the back page. I'm going to do mine down there like that. I'm just going to grab my scissors and just trim it off just slightly. Be careful not to catch the fold of your card or you'll have a hole when you open it up in the middle. Like that. And we need, so this piece is raised. These two are stuck on. So I'm going to stick my gold down. I'm going to take my black and white stripy piece, stick that on at slightly an angle so they go across like that. Then we need to put our yay together. So we need Yay. Remember to stamp it slightly to the right so that you can stick your heart on afterwards. On goes your heart. Put the star on last. Some dimensionals. And we'll put some dimensionals on the bottom of this too. These are so quick and simple. You could actually cut out most of these pieces. They're Stampin' Up punches and framelets that you could make these cards again and again. So we'll actually do ours that way. There we go. Another one to pop down. I think we finished this page, yep. So we'll turn over to the back page. So you get this lovely, love this heart die. I'm sure we're going to work out a way to make these ourselves. Or petition Stampin' Up to put them in the next seasonal. And these are the doilies, so these will all be available in colours in the new catalogue. You can see how quick and easy, once you've just popped out all the pieces, it probably took me about 20 minutes to pair up all the cards with all of its components. You can put these together really quickly. And I'm actually going to put my snail across there, ready. So we want our hello there. It would appear that I also forgot our pretty little heart. So we need our hello, it's a friend, there. And what you can also do on your blocks, when you're crafting, is with the polymers, you can line it up on your block already, so you can see exactly how it's going to line up afterwards. So we'll stamp these two separately. Hello, and you could put friend or hello there, or you could probably fit the love you on this one as well. But these are really great cards to have in the cupboard, and I'll often pull them out if Maddie needs a thank you note, friend's birthday that we maybe only just noticed on Facebook, or you could give them away as a little note card set. It comes in a beautiful little spotty box that I'll show you again at the end of the video. And you could give them as a set of note cards for an occasion. You could give it as a birthday present or Christmas present. So next we have, I love these, I wanted to show you these. So these are the, like a matchbook style card. Really easy to make. But they just look really sweet as a nice notelet, so the key for that. So just the only thing I'm going to say is when you stick your heart on, just remember to not put adhesive right at the bottom, otherwise your matchstick won't work, and you really do need to give it a good fold over. And really crease it down your bone folder to make sure it stays in place when you send it, like that. So again, we need some dimensionals. And just remember, I'm putting them slightly higher up than I normally would. I'm actually going to snip one in half just for the top, because I don't think that's going to fit otherwise. Yeah, that's better. So up the top there. So I just cut one of the dimensionals in half to make it fit. Stick that one on. Grab our Miss You and our block. I know this has turned into a pretty long video, but you can always fast forward to the cards you want to do. And if you're just catching up, so we're on number 16 at the moment. We're stamping through the middle. And we've got our heart to stick on. I'm just laying these ones with the stars out really carefully behind me. But I'll get them all out, and as I say, I'll photograph them for you at the end. Next we have number 17. And again, just make sure you really crease this matchbook fold in. And when you put your adhesive on, that you just make sure you miss those bottom bits so you can tuck the matchbook in afterwards. So I won't put anything right on the bottom, I'll put it just slightly further up the star. And we're going to turn that one over. There we go. And we want our cheers. I just saw our circle. There it is. And we'll ink this one back. Just make sure it's well inked. Stamp it on. Use a piece of scrap paper underneath just in case you miss any of the edges. Then you won't be inking up your table as well. Wouldn't be the first time I've had to try and get that off. If you do get something like Stays On or Sharpie or anything on your table, something that I found really great for getting it off is the Tim Holtz alcohol blending solution. I'll just grab my bottle from behind me here, which you can get in Michael's, or you can get it online in the UK. You can get it all over the place, but it's absolutely brilliant at getting off anything that's supposedly permanent. See, we've got a couple that seem to have fallen apart. What have we lost? Lost our flower, I can see that. So again, really crease up your bottom matchstick fold, position where you want your speech bubble to go, and just remember that first 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch, not to put your adhesive on it. So I'm going to butt my dimensionals right up to my speech bubble so that I miss them, like so. Okay, and I just hold it down while I position it on, and we need a thank you. Okay. This one. And again, ink it up thoroughly, and we can see through our speech bubble to position it, and we get a perfect line up. You could stamp first and put your speech bubble down later, but you'll probably find it'd be slightly wonky if you did that. And then we want our flower. Stick that on the edge like that, so that's another one done. And now we're going to do the It's Your Day. So this is number 18, just if you're trying to get all your bits and pieces together to stamp and create this kit with us. So we're going to fold our matchstick over, and we're going to butt our dimensionals up just to make sure that they're not going to be stuck down. So no, we can still open our matchbook, fold there, and you can just fold it up nicely and tuck it in. There, so It's Your Day, which is one of the birthday stamps. There we go. You can see that one didn't quite come out as dark as I'd like it. Now you could either colour it in. I'm going to have a go at stamping over the top, see how it looks. Perfect, I actually managed to line it up. And we've got a little smudge there, but this one comes with 3 of the little chipboard stars. Just grab them, they fell out on the desk behind. So I'm going to cover up my smudge, and this is what little extras like this are great for, and I always have them in my stamping box, so we'll put one down there so you don't see it. And this fine tip glue is really strong, it dries clear, and you'll have noticed that the I want to call it Glossy Accents, but that's the brand name for it. The Crystal Effects, that's the word I was looking for. That's actually retired in the last catalogue now, and I believe it's already sold out. So this is a great alternative. You can do exactly the same techniques with it. And it's just as strong and adhesive as well. So this one is going to go there. Remember again, dimensionals, leave yourself some room at the bottom. And we stick that one on there. Yep. So I hold it down just till I feel it catch my dimensionals. Check it from the side. Perfect. And this one is the Why Thank You, which of course is probably the only one I haven't got on a... Nope, that is the right one. Ink it up. And it should have a gold heart, which seems to have jumped off the desk, so I've got this pretty little glittery one that's left over out the middle of card number 1, and I'm going to put that in its place. I'm going to pop that one to the side while it dries. We're on our final 2 cards. So this is what I meant about the spotty ones. Now I couldn't work this out, so what I've done is for number 12 and number 5, on number 12 I've just cut down slightly to make the embossed background stick, so I don't think it's me because I went through all the cards again, but if you get to that point as well then that's fine, just cut it down and it will fit perfectly. You can't do it on number 5 because otherwise all your elements on the card don't fit, so that's why I cut that one down. And it's doily down first. Move it across next. And then we have a yellow piece. Followed by a gold piece at this end. And we need a thank you. It looks like they've used the Why Thank You, which I'm not going to clean right now, so I'm going to use a Miss You instead because I think that will fit fine. Okay, dimensionals, pop them on the back. Over the top, and it's just the little pink glittery heart in the corner, and you can see how small an amount of glue I'm actually using, and that will be more than enough to stick them on. So I'll pop that again to the side to dry with the heart, and we're on to our last card. And I think I'm going to switch this one out, so while the last one is Miss You, I'll use the thank you on here because it will fit perfectly. Okay. And we need to stick down. So this is the one that I cut down, and I cut probably just over 1/4 of an inch off the long side and off the short side. And that will make it fit perfectly. Then we need our doily. Then our thank you. And then they put some dimensionals on the back of your flowers. There we go. You'll notice these two last cards that I've done, they put the candy dots actually on here. So we'll grab those. Okay, there's our pink ones. Let's grab our last card back. And you don't need to be precise, you can see they're fairly random. And they put them on, and that's all our cards finished. So we've made 20 cards, and you actually have quite a lot left over as well. So there's a couple of the glittery chipboard elements left. You of course have your 13 polymer stamps that you can use again and again. Lots of dimensionals left. We've got our stamping spot in basic black. Then let me grab my little tray next to me here. And you can see you've got all these little bits and pieces. There's a doily left, there's a star, some hearts to stamp on, banners, baker's time, which I didn't use, gold hearts and some coloured hearts. And you've got all of that left over to use for an additional kit. So happy crafting. Thanks for joining us today. I know it was a long one, and we'll see you soon. Bye.